Ha! Hey everyone, Hassan here. Welcome to the world of Ha. Today I have a very special review for you. It's another item in the Power Rangers Lightning Collection from Hasbro. This is their collectible line of action figures that is pretty freaking amazing, and I love it. And I mean, just look at this box art. This is just gorgeous. Like, how can you not love it already? Like, I don't even want to open it. This is just fantastic. So, what you are looking at is the San Diego Comic-Con 2019 exclusive pack of the armored Mighty Morphin Red Ranger with the dragon shield, and then the Zeo Gold Ranger. So this is a 2-pack, neither of which is sold separately, at least as of now. There's some rumors that are just coming out that maybe the regular MMPR Red might be sold eventually, which makes sense. But as of now, the armored Mighty Morphin Red and Zeo Gold, this 2-pack is the only way to get it. If you did not pick it up at San Diego Comic-Con, it's supposed to be up on Hasbro Pulse. I don't know when this video is going up, so it might already have gone up or it might be coming up. Keep an eye out. Hasbro actually sent me this copy, so I just wanted to mention that. Thank you, Hasbro, for sending me this. If they didn't send it to me, I was going to try and get on Hasbro Pulse and get it anyways, but now I don't have to worry about trying to get a copy and it selling out or anything. So huge thank you to Hasbro for sending this to me, and I am very, very excited. So first of all, look at this gorgeous packaging. The packaging for the Lightning Collection in general is pretty amazing. So as an example, I actually have Wave 2, which I'm going to be reviewing soon. So if you haven't seen the Lightning Collection packaging, it's pretty awesome. They have that really cool artwork. So what they've done is, it's actually inside. They have similar packaging to this, but there's this giant sort of slipcase cover, if you will, that's on top of it. And this is just gorgeous. So going around the side, you have Zeo Gold here, you have MMPR Red right there, and going around. Just from looking at the packaging, you can't tell that it's the armored version of MMPR Red, but I'm guessing it's so they can reuse the same image when they release regular MMPR Red in the future, you know? So it's kind of smart, but still really, really cool. And I love how the design continues down onto this bottom cover, this lightning bolt. It's very seamless, right? But basically, you just kind of slide this right out, and look. So this is a little bit of a cover. It's actually pretty solid too, so this is pretty nice. But basically you have the full artwork right here. Now you can really tell there's no dragon shield, so they definitely designed this for future proofing, but it's still really, really cool. Gosh, this is just gorgeous. I could talk all day about this. But the other little neat thing, oh, by the way, here's the bottom. It just kind of continues down here, oh, like this, I guess. So there you go, now it continues. But it's really hard to see, but if you look in the light at the top, it's actually has the Power Rangers logo and Lightning Collection. It's really faint, but it's actually kind of cool. It's a little neat touch there. But basically, you have this, and the way that this is supposed to work is you just sort of slide this open, and inside you see the actual item. And so basically, you have these like almost like little book covers, if you will. I might have to store this on a shelf, and maybe I can put some comics in here maybe or something. I don't know. I actually want to save these because this is pretty amazing. So awesome, awesome packaging. But this is the actual packaging, which is also pretty awesome. Gosh, so gorgeous. So first of all, again, you have Mighty Morphin Red Ranger, and it has Zeo Gold Ranger right at the bottom, and you can see the artwork just sort of runs over to the side, just like that. You have the same sort of Power Rangers Lightning Collection logo up top, and on the bottom, actually. And then the back of the packaging shows you the 2 figures, and you can pause the video and read the description if you would like. But here it is. So really, really cool look at the images. And now let's flip it forward. So here's the deal. What you get in this packaging is the armored Mighty Morphin Red Ranger, Zeo Gold, as I said, but you also get 2 Jason heads. So each one comes with a Jason head, and obviously you can mix and match. They also come with all of their pertinent accessories, like the Blade Blaster stuff. You got the Dragon Dagger to go with the Dragon Shield. You have the Zeo Gold Staff in 2 different forms over here, which is fantastic. But another exclusive thing that you get is you actually get the Power Blaster. So you get all of the components, all 5 Mighty Morphin Rangers weapons, and it actually combines. That's pretty fantastic. This is an incredible set. I believe it's like $50 on Hasbro Pulse or something, so it's actually a really, really good deal, and I am so excited, especially because I do have to say, the armored Mighty Morphin Red Ranger is actually one of my all-time favorite suit designs. It's absolutely gorgeous, and I just cannot wait to check this out. So yeah, here it is, guys. So enough talking. I know this is a long intro, but I had to cover all of that. So thank you again to Hasbro for sending this, but let's get this open and take a look. All right, here they are out of the packaging, and overall, these things are pretty awesome. Look, they're not perfect, right? And that's the thing about this set. Normally, these Lightning Collection figures are $20. So imagine 20, 20, 40, right? But then all the extra accessories and things that you get, the fact that it's a Comic-Con exclusive, the extra cool packaging, $50, way more than reasonable. Like, what you get for the price is incredible value. But a couple quick things that I want to get it right out the box. With Hasbro, there are going to be little paint issues on the figures. So little parts where the paint isn't as clean as it should be, etc. Hasbro, this happens with their figures. Obviously, we all wish it would be better. I think there's pros and cons with everything, right? So that's the con with Hasbro figures is sometimes if you really want a good painted figure, you might have to buy a couple or look for a few and then pick the best one. When you order online, you kind of unfortunately don't get to pick, and sometimes it turns out not so good. But the pro is obviously that when you get a good one, like the paint, the detail, everything is incredible, the articulation, like they do a really good job with these figures overall. I say that because there is an issue with the armored MMPR red figure that I have, and I'm just going to get this out of the way before we jump into the review. Look at the figure right here. That's a paint issue right there, and it's noticeable. Right? Like that's a big noticeable issue. And the fact that this is one of my all-time favorite suit designs, like the armored Mighty Morphin Red, it's a little bit of a bummer to have it displayed like that. Granted, there's some slight ways around it. Like if I display it like this, facing the other way, I can't tell anymore, right? So I guess I'm gonna have to do that, and I guess that's okay. Like in terms of, luckily it's a paint issue that I can live with. However, what if it was a splotch right on the main body? I saw something in Dino Charge Red Ranger one time that the paint was really bad, yeah. So keep that in mind. You kind of have to keep an eye out for it. So I am a little bit disappointed with this. I might end up actually going to Hasbro Pulse and just buying my own copy, just so I can make sure that I get a decently painted one, just because I really love the suit design. But overall, you know, I just want to get that out of the way. I still, even with this paint issue, I'm still overall happy with this set. Even if I had paid the $50 and gotten it, I still would have been happy overall. Slightly less happy because I probably would have lost the chance to get a second set and make sure that I got a properly painted one. But since I got this earlier, now I have the chance to get it on Hasbro Pulse. So, you know, mixed feelings there, but overall, the amount of stuff that you get here is pretty great. So let's start with the armored Mighty Morphin Red Ranger, right? And the first thing that I actually want to say is it comes with, and actually both figures, they come with the fist hands, so left and right fists. It's the same for the Red and Gold Rangers. So if you want to swap the hands, otherwise they have the like open hands that hold on to the different weapons. So that's the extra piece that you get there. Overall, I think they did a good job with the look of the figure. There is one issue that I have with it slightly. Not so much an issue, I guess I should say, but there's one thing that I think would make it a little bit better. And look at the helmet, right? You see like where the teeth marks are all around? It's like completely silver. If the teeth had been silver, but the border behind it was white, that would be the perfect helmet. I think that would be great. I think the all silver is not bad. Like, it actually still looks good. I saw pictures online and I was kind of like, I don't know. But seeing it in person, it's actually not bad. I kind of dig it. But I still would prefer the white background. It's something that, like, the Bandai figure had all silver too. And I'll do a more detailed comparison with that. But I also have the SH Figuarts version. And look at the helmet here, right? Look at the white. Now, obviously, SH Figuarts, you're paying a lot more money for that. But man, that looks beautiful, right? Like that's so much better. So before we jump into the details of this, I think it's important to do a little bit of a comparison, right? To understand where we are now, right? So essentially, this to the left was the state of things with Bandai. You'll first off see the main difference between the two types of figures with Bandai and Hasbro is the Bandai figures were all steroided out, right? Like overly muscular. I'm not going to say that it's bad, to be honest. Like, I think the figure is pretty decent. Like, I still like it. I think it's a pretty good figure. But proportion-wise, it's not quite as accurate as something like this from Hasbro, right? Like, this feels more like an actual person in the suit. So I think personally the Bandai figure is not bad, but I just think that Hasbro did it better. The one thing that I will say though, is the Morpher is painted silver. To be completely honest, that's one detail that I am not 100% on. I think, if I had to guess, I would think that this would be gold as well. That's the one part of the suit that I don't remember off the top of my head. The SH Figuarts one is gold. The Bandai one is gold, but just because Bandai has a gold doesn't mean it should be gold. Technically, the regular Red Ranger is silver, and he just wears the shield, so does that turn gold? I don't remember. I'm sure people in the chat can let me know what it's supposed to be. Like, it doesn't look bad, necessarily, but if it's supposed to be gold, I guess that's kind of a ding against Hasbro there. But there's that. Now, Hasbro versus SH Figuarts, right? Which one looks better? SH Figuarts. Like, I mean, look at it, right? But which one are you going to be able to go and afford? Hasbro. The SH Figuarts ones, obviously, they're more like models. They also, you can't really play with them as much. They feel delicate. I've broken one SH Figuarts before, and just from moving it around a little bit. Like, they're really meant for display purposes, and that's the main difference there. I will say I do like with the Hasbro figures, they sort of mold like the creases and things into the actual figure. And so I actually think that looks better, that part of it. So that's kind of a big difference there. Also, if they were to release an entire teams of Rangers in SH Figuarts form versus entire teams of Rangers in Hasbro form, as cool as that would be for Figuarts, I would go with the Hasbro ones because I can't afford all of that, right? Like, that, it just becomes too pricey. So keep that in mind when you're doing comparisons between these. I think Bandai still made a decent figure. SH Figuarts made a pretty great figure, but there's compromises, right? This is too expensive, and this one is not as good quality-wise, right? So Hasbro, I think, is the perfect compromise here with what we have. So that being said, let's jump into the actual details of this thing. So here is the Power Sword. So let's take a look at the Power Sword. You can sort of see a T-Rex molded in there, which is kind of nice. They don't have the little designs etched in black or anything, but I think it's fine. I love the look of the Power Sword, by the way. I think it's one of my favorite weapons. Really cool. Now, remember paint issues I was talking about? Boom, right there. Another quality control issue with the paint. Thankfully, it's right there where the Ranger holds it, so it's not noticeable at all. If it was on the blade, that would be disappointing. But thankfully, it's hidden down here. Then we have the Dragon Dagger right here as well. And you can see the dragon coin right there. So pretty decent overall, right? You got the buttons in gold, and yeah, I think it looks pretty good. So the cool part about this figure as well, I should actually mention the Blade Blaster. Before I get into the actual other weapons for the MMPR Ranger, here's the Blade Blaster. Also, I have the Bandai one right here for comparison. I mean, it's not that different, really, to be completely honest. The Bandai one actually has silver on the tip, so Bandai actually edges out there. So that's a bit of a plus, but there you go. Scale-wise, obviously, this is going to fit with that, so you can put that in there. Or you also have the opened-out Blade Blaster version right here, which is also pretty nice. And that, of course, can sit in there as well. The Dragon Dagger also sits nicely right in there. And this is actually a really nice holster. Like, it fits the blade perfectly. It's got that nice little circle right there, so it just kind of nestles in real nice. So I actually think they did a great job with that holster there, which is pretty good. So, and again, if you want to see him hold the Blade Blaster, you certainly can right there. So there you go. All right, so lots of accessories here, so lots of little pieces to show. But let's take an up-close look at this figure, right? So as I was saying with the helmet, I do wish that they would have had the white background, but the silver's not bad still. You know, it still looks pretty good. Obviously, you have the quality control issues I was talking about, but still, aside from that, you know, moving on to the actual just general review of this figure, I like the gold that they used here. It's a nice shade of gold and looks pretty good. The Morpher here does have a little T-Rex. It's got the red border, little black paint marks there. So paint-wise, it's pretty good. I just, you know, the silver versus gold part, I don't know, but regardless of that, it's still painted well. Yeah, so overall, pretty good. So in terms of articulation, so the head's going to be able to rotate and move up and down because it is on a ball joint. It will pop off, which I'll show you later. The shield kind of wiggles around a little bit, so it offers a little bit of flexibility, right, in movement. So your arm can rotate around, right? It can also move upwards. Now, the only thing about these figures is sometimes the joints are a little tight, and I'm always afraid of damaging something. But it can move upwards a decent amount. So there you go. You also have rotation right here in the arm. You have double joint right there. And then the entire hand does rotate and move in and out like that, because of course you can also pop it out and swap it. So there's that. You also have movement like forward and back right here. So there's that, which is nice. This entire upper body also rotates around, and you have this sort of ab crunch movement up and down as well. So decent bit of movement there. So that's nice. Then with the legs, so you have that range, they can kick forward, rotation right here, double joint at the knee right there, okay. This entire boot does rotate, and then you have feet movement up and down and also swivel. So good amount of motion there. So pretty good. I think you'll be able to pose it in a variety of ways, which is pretty great. So there is the armored Mighty Morphin Red Ranger. Okay, so we're going to come back to the Power Blaster in a second, but I want to jump into Zeo Gold. So let's take a look at Zeo Gold right here. And so he comes with the Gold Ranger Power Staff right here. Really nicely done as well. So it comes in two different versions. So you have this, and then you have the open version. Would have been nice if they would have added a little bit of the like red or something in there, but it's still not bad. The silver's kind of got a nice shine to it. Nice gold again. Just overall, it looks really solid, you know. In comparison, we're going to bring in the Bandai one right here. And obviously, look, it's butterscotch gold, we know that, but taking that aside, just the quality, the finish of it all. Like this kind of looks plasticky and toy-like, right? Even if this was a shinier gold, it just kind of looks more toy-like. Versus this has a bit more of a textured look and feel to it. Like it just, you know, looks more solid in a way. So I certainly appreciate that. Then we have our actual Zeo Gold Ranger right here, of course. So pretty cool. And so let's bring in the Butterscotch Ranger for comparison. You all remember that Bandai debacle. We're not going to tread down that path again, but just for quick comparison's sake, there you go. So we got some nice darker gold here, which is pretty cool. But also you'll see a few different things. So with Bandai, this shape up top was sort of flat and just layered right there, versus the Hasbro one is kind of textured and pops out. I saw somebody post online that actually this isn't as accurate to the Gold Ranger, like it's not supposed to pop out like that. I don't know how true that is or not. I don't know. I kind of like it. I think it looks nice. So I don't know what's true or not. But you know, it kind of looks pretty good. But what I also appreciate is the black paint that they were able to get in the little creases there, so it really makes the design on the shield pop out. Like Bandai has some of the design there, you just don't get to appreciate it, you know? And so with Hasbro, they kind of added the little black paint in between, which makes it stand out a bit more. So, all right, let's take a closer look at Zeo Gold now. So again, here's the helmet that I was talking about with sort of the popped out molded texture, but it looks good. And then you have the Gold Ranger shield as well. He's also got a little bit of funky stuff happening there with the paint, but it's not as bad. It's just slight little, I think the black paint just got a little too high up. but it's not too bad. Also, his shield, I will say, did do a funky little thing. I think it's because of how it was in the packaging, where it just kind of bent a little, and so now it's got like a pointy tip here. That'll, you know, if you were to like warm it up a bit and stuff, like you could fix that. So that's not, I'm not concerned about it. That can be fixed. It's just because of how it was sitting in the packaging, it just sort of like molded itself with a pointy corner there. But overall, still pretty good. Yeah, I mean, nice detail all around as well, as you can see. Pretty good. Looks cool. So in terms of articulation, so again, movement, because the head just pop off. The arm rotates around and moves upward as well. So there you go. You do have the rotation. Hold on, right here. So arm rotates, double joint right here at the elbow. And then the hand, of course, rotates and moves up and down. You also do have movement in and out right here. My finger is a little, it moves pretty easily, so it's kind of like, it's just wiggling around a little bit. It's kind of loose, but you do have movement right here as well, full movement. The shield does wiggle a little bit, so it gives a bit of, you know, give. You do have movement in the body like this as well, so it clicks forward and back like that. Okay. The legs do move as well. Move forward, rotation right here, double joint at the knee. This entire boot does rotate as well. And then the feet also move up and down and swivel. Okay. So same articulation really as the armored Mighty Morphin Red. Pretty good. It is actually a different shade of gold if you kind of compare the two of them. This one's got a bit of a darker gold than the armored Red Ranger. I do feel like that it kind of fits. Like this one, I do remember being that lighter gold, and so for the Dragon Shield, whereas this darker gold I think fits with the black pretty nicely. So yeah, I think that actually it does look pretty good. So a couple different things, right? So you can swap the heads and change things up, right? So you have two different heads that you get for this figure. So you have, let's start with this one. You have an Austin St. John head right here, a Jason head. So here it is. And I mean, I think this looks pretty good in my opinion. I definitely look at this and I see Jason, right? Like, it might look a bit more, slightly more current Austin St. John than Jason on the TV show probably was. At least from what I remember at a glance. But still, I mean, it looks like Jason, right? The other head though, I don't know what they were going for. Like, I don't remember Jason having a smile like that at all. Like, that kind of looks like Rocky, to be honest. It's like, what are you even trying to do? I don't know about that one. It's kind of odd. So what I'm gonna do, excuse me, I had to sneeze there. Is let's swap the heads, right? So you can just pop off the heads right here. And the cool thing about these figures as well is like you can pop off the heads and basically hold the helmets in their hands like they're demorphed and they got their helmets at the ready. It's pretty sweet. So let's pop this one on right here and this one on here, and then we'll swap them. Okay, is it on? No. Is it on now? I think so. Okay. So, there you go. So here's this one, which again, like that doesn't look like Jason. I don't know what they were trying to do here. It just, it's really creepy looking. This though looks like Jason. Like that's him right there, and he's got his helmet at the ready. That's pretty sweet. So the way that I would probably pose it if I had to pick, because, I mean, look, don't get me wrong. I love Zeo Gold. Like, I think the suit is pretty awesome. But, gosh, the armored Mighty Morphin Red, like, MMPR Red's just, it's a classic for me, and I love it, right? So, here's this one. It's so weird. Oh, on the plus side, though, if I do end up actually ordering a set from Hasbro Pulse, I can get 2 of the normal heads for Jason, and I don't have to have this weird one on display. Because I actually like displaying them with the civilian head and then the helmet in hand. I think that's actually pretty cool. Because we just haven't had civilian heads, right? So I like to show that off. But this is certainly better, right? So there's Jason. And so here he is right here, holding the helmet at the ready. And then if they end up releasing an MMPR red and they fix the helmet, I can swap that out too. So that's the cool thing about these figures too, is you can swap if you want. I can put like a Doggy Kruger head on here if I wanted to. So you can do all sorts of crazy things, which is pretty great. But also one thing that I'm now noticing as well with the paint, the red really kind of seeped into this whole thing and made it pink a little bit. So that's just kind of odd looking. I'm a little disappointed with the quality control on that one. But overall, you know, if I kind of hide it like that, that looks fine. But that, good, good, there you go. All right, anyways, all of this stuff aside, so we've taken a look at all these. A couple other things that this set comes with that I didn't talk about is you get this effects piece as well. And I think it's meant to go with the Gold Ranger here. So let's say he's got the staff open or something, right? So let's do this. All right, and so maybe he's holding it up to the sky and there's some like lightning effect. It's basically very similar to what Lord Zed came with, just a different color. So you just kind of like put it around it like that or something. I don't know. I think this piece just kind of looks a little weird. Like in this case, I think like with Lord Zed's thing, it was probably better, but with the gold power staff and stuff, I don't really get it. I don't know, but it's a thing if you want to pose it with it, I guess. So, you know, it's nice to have extra stuff, right? Speaking of extra stuff, this was kind of the bonus thing that they included with the San Diego Comic-Con set, and that is all of the other MMPR power weapons. So we talked about the power sword, right? Excuse me. Well, let's go to the power bow. So MMPR pink. I believe this is the same one that MMPR pink comes with, because let's check actually. I have MMPR pink right here, and yes. So I will be reviewing this soon, but as you can see, it's the same one, which makes sense. Again, they're gonna just reuse, if they already have it, why do something different? So there's that. Then you have the power daggers right here. So this is pretty cool. There's no Zord anything on there. I mean, I think it's just too tiny that they didn't even bother, which is totally fine. It's just a little silver circle, so I think that's fine. Then they have the power lance. I will say I am a little bit disappointed. Actually, you know what? I feel like this slightly, maybe I'm just seeing things, but it almost kind of looks like they were trying to do a Triceratops. I'm probably just seeing things. I'm probably seeing things where it shouldn't be. I wish that there was a way to connect these. I mean, even not like this, but like if there was another piece that you could put in the middle, right? Because like that's one of the other features. So I'm not too upset by this because the main point of this set is to create the power blaster. But if the MMPR Blue Ranger doesn't come with some connector thing or the full version of the Power Lance, then I'll be a little disappointed. So whenever they make MMPR Blue, I hope they do that. But regardless, for now, I think this is fine. And then we have the Power Axe right here. And this one actually does have the Mastodon right there, which is pretty cool. So here's the cool thing about this, right? So I don't remember, is this supposed to be how in blaster mode? I don't know. This piece actually does move. So was this how the axe was? I think this is the power axe. It was like this because you could hold it in the middle versus this was the power blaster, I believe. So yeah. So basically, you can have Jason hold any of these weapons if you want, but really the point is you can combine all of these into the power blaster. So let's do that now. So the way that this is going to work is you actually slide this right here, okay? And the power bow is going to just sort of attach in right there. So there's a little bit of a hole right there, a notch that it sits in, and then this piece kind of holds it in place, which is nice. So it works pretty well. So there you go. We're already one step of the way there. Then we have our power lance right here. So these are going to attach in like so. I don't remember the order. Maybe I should have done this last. Let's just attach these first. Okay, we have our power daggers right here. So, pretty cool so far. I like what they've done with this. Now let's attach this on. And okay, sits nicely on there. And now, essentially, this is supposed to hold the power sword. Oops, stay there. Okay, right in the back, like that. And now you have the power blaster, which looks pretty great. Like, I think they did a nice job with it. Like, each individual weapon is pretty nice, and like it holds together pretty solidly. Like, I'm shaking it around a lot, and you have like slight wiggle, right? Like this kind of twisted a little bit, but like it didn't fall apart. So it's pretty solidly built. And so if I wanted to have him hold it here, let's try and do that. This is where a piece might fall off as I try and finagle this on. Yeah, it's slightly tilting off. Let me... The power bow is the piece that it doesn't sit in as tight as would be nice. You know, like, it would be cool if it like clicked in somewhere versus just kind of sliding in. So, but anyways, there you go. Like, that's pretty awesome. So it was just an extra accessory that like has nothing specifically to do with MMPR Red, the armored version, and Zeo Gold, but to have this extra full accessory pack, like, is great. Now, I assume if you get each individual MMPR Ranger as they release, you'll be able to do the same thing. But if you want the full Power Blaster now, there you go. So that's super cool. So that pretty much wraps up my review of the sets. I think, like, overall, this thing is pretty awesome. Look, there's gonna be some quality control issues. It's happened with the Lightning Collection so far. And I've seen pictures online. I had one happen to one of the Dino Charge Red Rangers that I had. This guy has quality control issues. For an exclusive, it sucks because unlike other ones where you could just go to another store and order another copy, once this thing's sold out, like, your other store is basically going to eBay, right, and trying to find something, and so that becomes a challenge. So it kind of sucks for an exclusive. However, the price that you're paying for something like this is pretty great, all things considered, and I think it's still a great value overall. Overall, I'm still pretty satisfied with it. If the paint issue was a little more apparent, like since I can hide it a little bit, I'm a little bit more okay with it, but overall, just the sheer amount of accessories that you get, two great figures. I love the whole set overall. The packaging is beautiful also. So ultimately, I just want to say thank you again to Hasbro for sending this, and to anybody that's interested in this set, track down a copy. If it's still on Hasbro Pulse, I don't know when I'm posting it, get it on Hasbro Pulse. If not, track it down on eBay or something. I think if you're a fan of the Lightning Collection and you're a fan of Power Rangers, this is one set that you're not going to want to miss out on, and I definitely recommend it. So let me know in the comment section below, are you getting the set? Did you get the set already? What are your thoughts as well? I have more reviews on the way for the Lightning Collection. As you saw already, I kind of showed you a couple figures in Wave 2. I have all of Wave 2. It has arrived from Hasbro Pulse, so I will be doing a review of that soon as well. So lots more on the way, the Green Ranger Fighting Spirit version and the Putty 2-pack and more. Very excited about all of that. So let me know in the comment section below what you think. Thank you all so much for watching. Take care, and I will see you later.